or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. That's 800-932-1176.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You're a real estate agent, not a social media expert, but you absolutely need a professional social media strategy. Stay on top of mind, top of feed, and be in more places. Introducing SocialStackPro.com, a tool for real estate agents that inspires your content with the power of ChatGPT built right in. Try SocialStackPro.com for free. Focus on building your brand, building relationships, and post like a pro with SocialStackPro.com.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Tuesday morning. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. As always, 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can watch, listen, share, like, comment, vote, all right there on our ESPN socials. That's ESPN Northwest Florida on Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can also download our free mobile app inside the Google Play Store or the Android store for the Google Play and the Apple store. Man, I'm just filling in for Jay today. I got to work too. P. He's got his junior camp started, his second one of the season. So I drew a little bit of blank there, but
channeling the inner Jay, brother.
That's it. And then I'll come up with some kind of fun fact that is true that no one actually knew, and he surprises us every day. That's for sure.
Every single time.
But yes, no Jay today. So give us a call 850-215-6290, and that it is Best of Bay time. Make sure you head over to ESPNPC.com. We got the link up there where you can go vote for Best of Bay. All three local shows, including our good friend Sam Peebles with the Braves Dugout podcast, all on that radio personality show category. So go in there and vote. If you feel frisky too and you want to vote one of us that made it into the TV personality show as well, you can do that.
How funny would that be?
That'd be good. And then Sam Peebles also in the planning event/wedding category. He snuck that one in there. And of course, you got to vote DJ Coach Hale for the DJ entertainment category, event/wedding. That's what he's doing at the weddings. He's just
all day, every day. Roll Tide!
Smoke. Yeah, that's it. It's red smoke coming out all the time. Doesn't matter what the theme of that wedding is.
He just continuously plays Dixieland Delight over and over again.
That's it. That's it.
There's a good one, y'all.
There you go. It's just on loop. He hit the button that goes around, not the shuffle.
DJ Loopy.
That's for sure. But yes, please, if you feel us worthy, obviously you feel worthy enough to nominate us, we appreciate everybody. Let's get one of these ESPN Northwest Florida. We're tired of the same ones, and it's time. It's time for a change.
It's time.
Absolutely. Also want to mention too, we're still rocking and rolling. You had it at 7:40. We got it at 12:40 and 5:40 coming up today. It's the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. It's the big one. It's sponsored by PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, as well as Home to Suites. We'll end this contest on Friday. Again, you have 3 chances every day between now and Friday, and if you've already qualified once, you can qualify again. That is the best part of it. But when you hear the cue to call, when we go out of our 12:20 segment, you give us a call, caller number 10. You'll automatically be entered to win a sweet qualifying prize, and today is a Dave & Buster's swag bag, a jersey, and a $10 Swampy Jack's gift card.
Just
making it rain Swampy Jack gift cards.
There you go, man. We got a nice stack of them, and everyone needs to go out there and check out Swampy Jack's, man. If you got youngins,
oh man,
that
is
perfect. The place to go,
and it's never busy.
Is it never busy?
All the times we've been to it, it's never been very busy. I
haven't been to it while it's busy either.
You can look at that as a positive or a negative, but as a consumer, I'm gonna look at that as a positive.
Every single time, man.
Because that means short lines. If you want to get on that Swamp Ape or ride the Mario Kart go-karts, which are a lot of fun, but a great place also to host a birthday party.
I wonder if they would do better if they were open year-round and not seasonal.
That's a good question.
It's a question that will remain a question for a while, right?
I would think so, because I think they're going to continue to be seasonal.
It kind of makes sense with how slow it goes during the off season here for a place like that.
The snowbirds aren't necessarily wanting to go ride the abominable snowman. And all
they're
that
more
stuff.
about the golf carts, ain't they?
Yeah, something like that. Not the golf carts that you can ride around at Swampy Jack's. But yes, $10 gift card today in a jersey. Is that another Orlando Magic jersey?
I'd have to check the bag.
It just says jersey on the thing.
If it just says jersey, then
probably
more than
not.
Likely, no. I'll put it to you like this: as someone who's in the prize closet quite frequently, I don't know of any other jerseys we have. So
there you go.
There's that. Could be a Buffalo Rock jersey, I guess.
That could be. It could be the Shaq jerseys. I mean, what a thing to get as a prize. I mean, just that alone is pretty darn cool. But yes, you can give us a call then, right as we're going out of the 12:20 segment for your opportunity to get qualified for the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off and go up there and have a big all-inclusive time up there at the beautiful Truist Park as we're rolling into September here in a couple months. So again, Best of Bay, please vote us. Poll question, I've got that one today. That one's going to be, because we're going to talk about it here in a second. I got one. I haven't talked about Best Beach House Sales Development in quite some time, so I got to give them a shout out, and also got to mention the Cloister. We talked about it a little while ago, but the newest waterfront development over there on North Lagoon. The Cloister is an exclusive gated community situated on 2.6 acres, which encompasses 8 stunning homes designed by the infamous Michael Honeycutt to include 4 waterfront residents as well as 4 interior, each with a private pool as well as a communal dock. The exclusive development focuses on the elegance and modern class and will be built by the highly sought-after craftsmanship of Jeter Construction and Cerritus Incorporated, and will be beautifully appointed on the desirable Grand Lagoon, which feeds directly into the Gulf of Mexico and St. Andrews Bay. The waterfront estates will offer 5,000 square feet of space, each with a private pool as well as detached garage with optional separate apartment. The interior estates will offer 4,000 square feet of space, each with a private courtyard pool as well as a detached garage with optional separate apartment. Interior packages for waterfront and interior homes may be customized by pre-construction buyers with our exclusive interior design company, 715 Design. All homes will enjoy private docks and access to an 8 by 28 28 fish cleaning area, 12-foot slips that can house up to a 35-foot boat, each with a golden boat lifts built by Gorman Marine Construction. The Cloisters common space will be protected by a private HOA company, a private mall kiosk, and short-term rentals will not be allowed. More information coming soon. You can check out Beach House Sales and Development on their website, or you can check them out on Facebook. I will tell you, as of this morning, there's only 7 left of those total 8.
That is a steal.
Absolutely. So it's getting hot, but that's one of the things. If you're a water enthusiast, and if you visit CreamerMarineOutdoor.com and bought yourself a big old boat, you need a place for that boat if you don't have it. And the Cloister seems like the best place to do that.
There you go. Get your little clam oyster action going on.
Clam and oyster.
That's got to be what it is, right?
Well,
what else is a cloister?
I don't know. I know in Sea Island, the luxurious resort there on the Georgia coast, one of their hotels is named the Cloister. Spelled differently, though.
Really?
I instead of Y.
Oh.
This one's got the Y.
Yeah.
That one's got the I.
The Y just feels better.
It does. It feels right.
Yeah.
It feels right.
I don't know about the I.
Yeah.
There's no I in oyster.
That's true. That's true. It's confusing. Jay
is.
wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't think he would be reserving any rooms there.
No doubt about it. He has worked at Sea Island, though.
Oh.
That's where his golf career, when he was a younger lad, he spent some time there as well. But getting back to what my poll question was going to be.
Did he go by Charles at that point? Oh, Charles.
I think we should just switch that. Just throw everybody for a loop.
Yeah, just call him Charles.
Just start calling him Chuck from now on.
There you go. We've got our very own Chuck on the inside drive.
That's right. You haven't heard of Chuck. There's I don't know why this popped into my head, but Evan. There's an Evan on both the Oilers and the Panthers, and it'll be the first time that the name Evan will be on Lord Stanley Cup's trophy.
Really?
Yes.
The first name?
The first name,
okay.
Yes. I think it was Evan, and I heard that. Evan Bouchard, yes. Yeah, I heard that last night during the broadcast.
That is something else.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have that for the show today. It just popped in when you were talking about Chuck. Charles,
right,
John.
Evan, first time guaranteed, will be on the Stanley Cup.
Guaranteed.
Have they read every single name on there?
I would hope so if they made a bold claim like that.
Bold statement.
That's not my claim. That was the play. Or that might have been the color guy yesterday on the ABC coverage there.
We'll take him at his word because we have to.
Yeah, we got no other choice until we find out there was an Evan in 1918 or something like that. Maybe not a popular name back then. I don't know.
We'll have to look up the
you would think about how many years and how many players' names are on the rosters and the coaches and all that. But the poll question I was going to get to, and we're going to talk about this, is being on the Madden cover a curse? Yes or no? And the reason why we're going to talk about that is today was the...
Can I say, is the Madden curse still alive?
Yeah, is the Madden curse still alive? Yes or no? Yeah, however it is, yes or no. I want to see what people think. And of course, the Madden cover was revealed earlier this morning, and that's why I'm wearing this jersey today, because I am going, if it is a curse, I'm reversing the curse, and it's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to use all my will to make sure it never happens again. But Christian McCaffrey has been revealed as the Madden 25 cover athlete, and it's the first ever San Francisco 49er on the game's worldwide edition. He's becoming the first San Francisco 49er to land the honor in the last 25 years and the first running back to do so in more than a decade. The game will launch worldwide on August 16th. In his first season with the full season with the 49ers last year, McCaffrey led the league in rushing yards and total yards and was named the Offensive Player of the Year. He also tied Miami Dolphins, Jay's team, the Miami Dolphins, Chuck's team, in total touchdowns with 21. According to the Madden NFL, video game players used him to score a lot more touchdowns than that. 450 million touchdowns last year. He was the most popular running back in Madden 24. Christian's electrifying, dynamic, and physical play style perfectly represents the gameplay innovations we're bringing to Madden NFL 25 and to make him the perfect fit for this year's cover, said Mike Mayer, senior production director of Madden NFL. McCaffrey is the first ever 49er on the game's worldwide cover. In 1999, running back Garrison Hurst was on the international edition. Fun fact. You remember that name, Garrison Hurst?
Oh, I remember the name.
He had a helmet that was it was a little different at the time, but he's also the first running back on any Madden cover in more than a decade, a reflection of the league's increasing reliance on the passing game. In 2023, featured Barry Sanders on one cover and Adrian Peterson on the other. Recently, McCaffrey, 28, for his 2023 accomplishments, received a 2-year contract extension and further boosts him as the highest-paid runner in the league. McCaffrey said last week it was important for him to continue to raise the monetary bar for running backs. Running backs have been undervalued for such a long time now, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction. He also may become the first running back, well, depending on if this curse is real or not. I'm going to will it into not being real. The first running back, if he leads the league in rushing this year, to do it back-to-back since
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Man,
gotta be.
You're so good at this.
Well, I mean, it would be maybe different if the running back wasn't one of my favorite of all time. But yeah, Derrick Henry, a beast. This is interesting. I don't think that the Madden curse has been as a curse of a curse since about 2020, when you had, I think it was Tom Brady on the cover there.
Mahomes, was that when they did the dual cover? I got it right here. I'm gonna go through it real quick. So back in
2020 was actually Mahomes.
Okay, so he's won what, 3 Super Bowls since then? 2.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's.
I've actually got a list of every single Madden cover and the verdict on if they were cursed or not.
Perfect. Because I was just going to go through the covers. I don't have the curse or not the curse starting in 2000 is what I had.
Eddie George.
With Eddie George. Yeah. Why don't you go through it, and because you got the curse, whether it's a curse or not. I like this.
So 2001, Eddie George, he had 1,500 yards in his cover season, but he also had a career high number of fumbles in that season. He averaged more than 3.4 yards per carry for the rest of his career. After that, the verdict for Eddie George was cursed.
Yeah. That wasn't the same year as the St. Louis Rams.
No, I believe that would be the year after.
There you go.
It actually all started in the Super Bowl.
Yes. Oh, further proving that. Yeah, I would say that one's fair. I would say that one's fair as a curse.
2002, Minnesota Vikings quarterback Dante Culpepper threw 33 touchdowns, going 11-5 as a first-time starter back in the year 2000. He took a deep nosedive during his cover season. He had injuries that cost him 6 games. He fumbled 6 times, threw 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and went 4-7 in his starts. What would you say there?
I would say that's a curse.
I would
the epitome of a curse. I mean, and again, a lot of this is all coincidence, but like we say here on the Inside Drive, there are no coincidences.
Incidentally, it doesn't feel too coincidental here. 2003, the Rams running back Marshall Faulk entered his cover season having 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons and 3 straight 1,300-yard campaigns.
Let me guess, he didn't break 1,000 yards the year after.
In 2002, Faulk broke down, missing half a dozen starts, and he never hit 1,000 yards again. The verdict being
curse. That might be the worst so far, especially given the rest of the
build up to that.
Absolutely.
2004. Falcons quarterback Michael Vick. Vick was unstoppable in the game because of the speed.
You just break down the passing and take off. You couldn't stop him. It was ridiculous.
And he threw a beautiful bullet as well.
He did.
I believe this is the year of the quarterback vision. So Mike Vick's quarterback vision was like a little slice of the pie compared to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. It was like the whole field at that point.
But he could wing the heck out of it, that's for sure.
So a fractured fibula less than a week after the game's release sidelined him for all but 5 games later. And then 4 years later, the article states he was in jail. What would the verdict be for 2004 Mike Vick?
That sounds like a dog curse if I've ever heard one, that's for sure.
2005, Ray Lewis, Baltimore Ravens hit the squirrel on him. His interception total dropped from 6 to 0 in 2004, which was his cover year. The Ravens also missed the playoffs, but he still had 147 tackles. The verdict, what would you say?
I would say no curse.
Not cursed. Yeah. All right, that's our first not cursed. 2006, Donovan McNabb, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. He hit his peak in 2004. He threw for 31 touchdowns and led the Eagles to the Super Bowl. But 2005, rock bottom. He got into a little scuffle there with Terrell Owens and missed half of a 6-10 season, then went on to miss 8 games over the next 2 years as well. 2006, Donovan McNabb, verdict is
cursed.
Back to being cursed. Let's go to a running back, a cover that I love, 2007.
That's a great one.
Sean Alexander, like Falk, he entered his cover year with 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. His dominance also coming to a halt. 2006, his rushing total dropped from 1,880 yards to 896. And 2 years later, he was out of the NFL. Verdict?
Cursed.
2007. Also going to a Tennessee Titan here. Vince Young, quarterback for the Titans in 2008. He was offensive rookie in the year 2006. But for his cover year, he threw 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, missed a game, and earned a seat on the bench for 2008, never getting the trust back from Coach Jeff Fisher. The verdict for 2008.
So far, that is probably the second, maybe the highest. I'd probably put that one the highest. It's close. It's close.
It's definitely up there with Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
And then for Sean Alexander to go from 1880 to 896.
Yeah, that's a 1,000-yard drop. And then, I mean, 2 Titans there in the first 8 years.
Yeah. Well, not 2. Yeah. Eddie George. Yeah, and then Sean Alexander into the mix as well there as far as not being a Titan, but being a Bama guy. 2009, Packers and Jets quarterback Brett Favre. EA began by making Favre the cover athlete as a tribute to his Packers career, but then Favre forced his way out and into New York, and all he did there was throw an NFL high 22 interceptions and hurt his shoulder before moving to Minnesota. 2009, Brett Favre, verdict?
Cursed.
Yes, it was. 2010, you had
Isn't looking good so far.
No, it's not, but it does look better. It does.
It's trending soon here in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. 2010, Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald and Steelers safety Troy Polamalu. Fitz had one of his standard Pro Bowl seasons with more than 1,000 yards, but Polamalu missed a career-high 11 games in 2009. He had an MCL injury and recorded a career-low 20 tackles. For Mr. Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. The flow.
So the verdict.
One cursed, one not. And
half cursed is the answer.
There you go. And I think maybe Madden did that on purpose. Like, hey, we're going to throw 2 guys on there. This hasn't gone well so far. So you know what? Maybe one of them will be good and one of them will get cursed. And hopefully that was the first trend. Let's do one more, and then we'll break into the rest. I appreciate you doing. I had mine, but I didn't have the cursed or non-cursed verdict, so this is great.
Luckily, just kind of
this is great.
Stumbled upon it. 2011 Saints quarterback Drew Brees. He threw 33 scores and got another Pro Bowl selection, but Brees had what constitutes as an off year the season that he was on the cover. He threw a career high and franchise record 22 interceptions, and his Saints also lost to the 7-9 Seahawks in the playoffs. That was the rumble from the jungle. Marshawn Lynch.
Yep.
The verdict for Saints quarterback Drew Brees 2011.
Cursed
It was.
And we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we got obviously lots to talk about today, but with the release of the Madden cover, it's kind of like a little nostalgia trip here as well, because this next name, I even forgot he was on a Madden cover, that's for sure. But you are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. I do not believe this is a difficult finals to explain. Number one, why I picked the Celtics in 6. They've got a much deeper roster, especially offensively. They just got more guys that can score 22 points. Secondly, Kyrie is projecting that it doesn't bother him. Clearly it does.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunny with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour coming out of the west and temps near 89. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and be warm at 77. Mostly sunny most of the day except a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening tomorrow and a high 91. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Life can take us so many places. And at Panama City Toyota, we're here to make sure every drive is worth every minute.
Maybe you want a fun, fuel-efficient car for everyday driving. Or you need a dependable vehicle that really gets the job done. Sometimes it's all about answering the call of the wild. And when you're ready to shop, reserve your vehicle online and choose your options. Or we'll help you in person, even if you started the process at home.
Whatever works for you, always works for us.
I have some great gift ideas for you here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves. We have a large selection of 14-karat charms starting at just $19.95. Engrave a personal message and add a special coin for your dad's birth year on a money clip or keychain. And a beautiful designer Bulova watch is a perfect gift that will be treasured forever. Always a perfect gift for any occasion. From Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves, where our reputation shines as brightly as our diamonds.
Behind some strong defense, clutch pitching, and a solid offense, this 2024 Brave squad's gearing up to make some noise in the National League.
Sends one soaring to right field, back to the chop house, 3-0 Braves. He's done it again.
Tonight, the Braves road trip rolls on from Baltimore as Austin Riley and the Braves take on the Orioles at Camden Yards.
Coverage starts here after the afternoon underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk.
Tell me what you know. You're out! Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Couple things before we jump right back into this. I'll take over for David Hayes. I appreciate him giving me the link here, and then I'll ask him if it's cursed or not cursed. But a couple things I want to mention first. Coach Olds, yes, I completely agree. The Madden cover is an honor. It is not a curse. And then on another Facebook page that I said this is a 49er fan group, says Madden curse, Madden curse. Hey friends, we've lost the last 3 Super Bowls we've been in and a couple NFC championship games in a brutal fashion. Could I care about the Madden curse? No. If anything, it'll be a reverse jinx. This is what I told Chris Fall earlier, and we'll win it this year.
Or Christian McCaffrey has a injury-laden season, and 49ers
and they win.
Y'all delete Madden off your Xbox. You don't just get rid of the disc these days. You have to delete it off
the
your
whole
system
thing,
and all of that stuff.
And all the data, so you can't come back to where you were. But hey, yeah, I mean, if you've been if you are a Niners fan, obviously we had a lot of success up until the mid-90s, but it's been a tough road in the last 3 or 4 years. We've been there, but you still haven't got the job done and just lost in some brutal fashion. Even the NFC Championship with Brock Purdy tearing his UCL in half a season. But in listening to everything coming out of their camp, which is crazy to believe, his first year in the NFL, training camp and all that, he was fighting just to be the 3rd string quarterback. Last year, he tears his UCL, so he doesn't have a full training camp, mini camp. He's basically back throwing at this time. And then this year is his first full offseason as an NFL starting quarterback. So
just wild.
It just feels like he's been doing it for a little bit longer, but he's saying that this may be his best year yet, and I certainly hope so, because we just really haven't had the consistent quarterback play in a long time.
It'll be a conversation throughout the year again, just like it was last year. Is Brock Purdy for real? You guys start out to a great start. Well, look, they lost 3 games in a row. It's got to be Brock Purdy's fault, right? Get to the NFC Championship. Like, is he good enough? Honestly,
they're down by 3 scores. Yeah. They suck. And the rest is history.
I think that conversation continues, though. And I think that honestly, I think the conversation's warranted.
Yeah. I mean, he's young. Mm-hmm. He hasn't, quote unquote, proven anything. I mean, he only broke the record for most passing yards in San Francisco 49ers history. And
with names like Joe Montana and Steve Young being quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hell, Jeff Garcia was the leader prior to him. Yeah. So he just, I don't know. Don't draft him in your fantasy league. I'll gladly take him. That's for sure. I think his production will probably be even better than this previous year. But anyway, back to the Madden curse. We left off on Drew Brees from 2011. Verdict was he was cursed. Moving on to 2012, Cleveland Browns running back Peyton Hillis, if y'all remember that name.
Shout out to him.
Bruiser. Remind me a little bit of Mike Allstott, but with maybe a little more success.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Just a big fella.
Well, Mike Allstott, I would say, had more career success. Peyton Hillis had a flash in the pan success.
Yeah, no doubt.
But shout out to him for he saved some kids that were drowning.
I remember that. Yeah. That wasn't that long ago.
No, I think it was last year, around this time.
Yeah, no, 100%. Good for him. But a Madden Colt hero, Hillis grunted his way to 1,000 yards as surprise lead back in 2012. But during his cover year, he missed half a dozen games with an injury and averaged just 3.6 yards per carry and ran his way into a journeyman backup career. David Hayes, that's an easy one, but what's the verdict?
Oh, it's cursed all day long, man. Yeah, you hate to see it. It was fun to watch in Arkansas. I think when everyone saw that cover come out, I was like, what are they doing?
Very
Did
surprising.
They need more white people to buy the game or something?
Fair.
I don't know.
Fair. But 2013, moving along, maybe not cursed this time, but we'll find out. That's Lions wide receiver Megatron, Calvin Johnson. If anyone conquered the curse, it was Johnson, who had both a career and historic season the year he was on the cover. Like Barry Sanders before him in Detroit, he retired relatively early a few years later, but 2012 saw him post a whopping 1,964 receiving yards, only 36 yards from breaking 2,000 receiving yards.
Yeah,
verdict clearly not cursed.
Yeah, you cannot curse Transformers and definitely can't curse Megatron.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But let's run right back into the 2014 cover. That's Vikings running back Adrian Peterson. As he got a little bit, he was kind of just right in the middle of his career at that point.
He was disciplining people.
He was. He was. Switches. If Johnson shattered the curse, Peterson may have reignited it in 2013. Fresh off his sixth 1,000-yard season and 2 years removed from his historic 2,000-yard campaign, he missed all but one game, including being inducted on the child abuse charges. That's a pretty easy one there. Cursed or not cursed, D. Hayes?
Let me think about this one. I'll say cursed.
Cursed, yes. That was cursed and, not only cursed, but got some jail action there as well. I don't know if he ever spent any time, but he got in trouble, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, 2015.
Which I don't know if that, honestly, some of the things that I've heard about Adrian Peterson or hearing Adrian Peterson talk about those situations, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's just one of those kind of.
Because he's a notable person, they almost took advantage of it, so to speak.
That type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. 2015 Seahawks quarterback corner.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just take him to the steps. That's all. Richard Sherman, the Seahawks, his interception total dropped and his Seahawks failed to repeat as Super Bowl champions, but otherwise Sherman was still at the top of his game during his cover year. It was the only season he had to undergo Tommy John surgery. They voted on this one, not cursed. Let me read that one more time. His interception total dropped and the Seahawks failed to repeat as Super Bowl champions, which Super Bowl champion repeat, you can't really put that in there. But otherwise, he was still at the top of the game during his cover year. It was only the season after.
It was only after the season.
After the season. If I could read, that'd be good.
So he didn't have to.
It wasn't during the season. It was after the season.
All right. So
not cursed.
All right.
Sure. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions would be a tough bar for saying if your cover athlete was a Madden curse.
And congratulations on a defensive guy.
Yeah.
No love there. That would be the first one since Troy Polamalu, right?
I would think so.
Before Troy, I think your only other one there would be Ray Lewis. Yeah.
Yep. When did they? Because Madden, was it always Madden on him before 2000?
Yeah,
gotcha. Or 2000, I think was his last Madden one, and then 2001 they pivoted.
And then 2023.
Yep. Brought it back for the what was that? The 30 year?
I don't know. They had Madden 25. As that was the name of one. I can't remember what year that was. 2000 and maybe I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
We'll blow through these last three real quick and more so just say cursed or not. Not last three, but last several. All right, so we got the 2016 was New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. He managed 1,400 yards that year. Cursed or not cursed?
I'll say not cursed.
Not cursed is correct. He was made to be the case in 2015. Beckham's cover year is when the flamboyant Wyatt fell into a mercurial trajectory, including a one-game suspension for his fight with Josh Norman, but, like I said, still dominated the field with 1,400 yards. Now, the rest, I don't know about that. He did get a Super Bowl, though, with the Rams after, popping his ACL during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did, man.
That year maybe not, but the rest of it, who knows?
I wonder what would be a better rivalry, the one you just mentioned, OBJ and Josh Norman, or Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree.
Ooh, both good.
Yeah.
Both good.
I think I'll take the Crabtree Talib.
Yeah. I'll take the Norman just because Josh went to Coastal Carolina University. Alumni. He's done the field house that they built behind the one end zone is the Josh Norman.
Is he the most notable football NFL.
He's up there. I mean, you got Isaiah Likely now, who's with the Ravens.
Likely not as popular as Josh Norman.
Yeah, at the time, yeah. I mean, you had Tyler Thigpen had that run a little bit back in the, I want to say that was the late 2000s when he came in for the Chiefs and played a little bit with the Dolphins as well. But yeah, I would say Josh Norman for sure. You also had, God, I forget his name. He was with the Bengals. He was also a track star for us, but he did the flip into the end zone on that one touchdown.
Ross?
No, what was his name? Anyway, getting back to the Madden list. 2017, the New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler coming off another double-digit touchdown season in 2016, but he virtually missed all of the Patriots' first 4 games with a hamstring injury and then finished with just 6 starts due to a herniated disc and other injury issues. Jerome Simpson. Thank you. That's him. Hey, unbelievable track, too. Man, we used to go to some of the meets, and that guy could fly. That's for sure. But anyway, what about Gronkowski that year? Played 6 games.
Oh, cursed.
Yep, cursed. No doubt about it.
Easy money.
No doubt about it. Here we go. Surprisingly, the first year, 2018, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. With a chance to win the 6th Lombardi Trophy, Brady was bested by Eagles backup quarterback in Super Bowl 52, Nick Foles, but still threw him for more than 500 yards in that game after yet winning another MVP award, all at age 40, proved he is immune to the curse, making the verdict on that one very easy.
Not cursed.
2019, I don't even have to read anything on this one. We know this gentleman is cursed, and that is Antonio Brown.
I don't know if it's cursed
or
as much
CTE.
as diagnosed or undiagnosed. CTE, yeah. I don't know, man. That was such a tough situation to, like, which side of the fence are you on with Antonio Brown, just with some of the antics, because you feel bad for him because it's like, man, the football caused this. That's
that's
not
good.
Sad. It's sad, but yeah, cursed.
Yep.
Absolutely cursed.
Cursed, no doubt about it. 2020, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Baby goat.
There you go. Rightly honored as after a historic debut as the Kansas City's full-time starter, Mahomes did not slow down as a result of his video game fame. An injury cost him 2 starts and made his numbers look more good than great in 2020, but he still won his first Super Bowl at 24.
Yeah, not cursed. I think that's where it kind of stopped right there after Antonio Brown. It doesn't seem like it's been a big of a deal.
Yep. Other than maybe the last one that we'll get to.
Ooh.
All right. So we had 2021 quarterback Lamar Jackson there. Fresh off an MVP season as electric dual threat, Jackson would experience a downturn in passing efficiency and durability a few years later, but his cover season 2020 was still a star-studded affair, marking his second straight 1,000 rushing yard campaign as a quarterback.
There you go. RB1, QB1. Same player, Lamar Jackson, cursed.
Not cursed indeed. And then the dual quarterbacks on the 2022 cover, quarterback from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and quarterbacks from the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's the baby goat.
That's the one, where you had Brady and
baby
Mahomes.
Goat, Billy Goat.
Absolutely. I think we can easily say, without diving into that one, that one was not cursed.
But that was the year after or the year that they played in the Super Bowl against each other?
So if he was 2022, if he was on the Bucks, I think that was going into the year that they played each other in the Super Bowl, because Mahomes, I think, won the Super Bowl the previous year. But yeah, I mean, Brady threw for an NFL high 5,300 yards and 43 touchdowns at 44 years old while taking Tampa Bay back to the playoffs, while Mahomes casually tossed 37 touchdowns in a 12-5 season that ended in the AFC title game.
44 years old.
In my day.
It's just still crazy. 44 years old out there.
That's insanity, man. And still probably could play ball better than half of the quarterbacks in the league.
I think there's some validity to that. That's for sure. 2023, you can't really have a curse because they put John Madden on the cover. He did die in late 2021 at the age of 85 and returned to the cover of his famous series as part of the tribute for the 2022 season. Last year's cover, who was it, Jay Henley? Your former team. Not your former team. Your not your former team, but your former team as of yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, we broke them up pretty quick.
Now he's
I imagine it would be pretty easy to, if you don't like a girl that Jay's dating or whatever, I think you could just be like, hey, listen, man.
Yeah.
She's not good for you. Yes. And then Jay would wrap it up.
We'd be like, all right, we're done. He'll take some advice, that's for sure. But yes, last year's
Gives and takes lessons.
Gives and takes, which is good. You got to have an open mind. 2024 Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Allen was the first Bills player to ever grace the cover. While he couldn't end Buffalo's streak of disappointing postseason finishes and maintained a penchant for turnovers, his big-bodied dual threat scored 40-plus total touchdowns for the fourth straight year, serving as the chief reason the Bills' late-season turnaround and remains the centerpiece of their title hopes.
The chief reason that they can't beat the Chiefs.
That's it. They did verdict, though, that he is not cursed.
Yeah, I'd say not cursed as well.
I think he's had some serious success in his career. But he's going to have to really figure it out this year. I was looking at their receiving core earlier today. I was like, man.
What receiving
Yeah,
core?
exactly. They got MVS. Great. He could.
Yeah, he was captain of the drop team last year for...
It's still wild that the Chiefs led the NFL in drops, and the Niners had the least amount of drops in the NFL with 9, and they played against each other in the Super Bowl.
Do we know the numbers of drops in the Super Bowl? Like, did the 49ers have more drops than what the Chiefs did? Because it did seem like the Chiefs,
a good question.
The wide receivers just kind of stepped up in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just like we kind of talked about it last year. But the final verdict, what does history tell us? Using our year-by-year decisions, 13 and a half of the 24 cover athletes, or 56% from 2020 to 2024, have been cursed. But just 3 of the 10 cover athletes, or 30% from the last 10 years, 14 to 24, have been cursed. There also haven't been back-to-back curses since the 2011-2012 season. So is the Madden curse alive? Maybe, but all as well is maybe it's losing its power. Or, it could just be completely made up.
There's some validity to that, to the superstition side of things.
Absolutely.
This is, honestly, I don't normally get the Madden cover athlete correct, and this is the guy who I was thinking that Madden was going to go with this year. It just made sense. Had another great season. He's really been a big part of the 49ers success. And I'm not surprised at all that they went with Christian McCaffrey, outside of the fact that that's who I had them pegged to, so I guess I'm surprised.
Yeah, because you picked him. Yeah. I know, it makes sense. It makes sense. And you know what? Curse is what you make of it. And, if there's any guy that, and he's had a tough career in Carolina. He was hurt a lot. But, I think this year you're going to see him not use quite as much. We'll see a little more Elijah Mitchell and maybe a couple of the other guys we drafted, get him a little break a little bit.
I would like to see them make Kyler Murray the cover athlete of Call of Duty. I think he deserves that.
That would be fantastic.
There you
That's
go,
probably,
a little cross promotion.
There you go. That's probably the first time anybody said that in the country. So let's roll with that.
Really?
I don't know. It sounds. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. But hey, they should start doing cover athletes of that kind of stuff.
I mean, you would definitely get. Sports fans are already all into Call of Duty, so that would work out well.
Yeah,
Then get you a Florida man to be the cover of Grand Theft Auto 6 when that comes out.
Makes sense. Maybe somebody in a helicopter shooting fireworks out.
There you go, man.
That was what, California desert?
Yeah, but this one's going to be highly based on Florida.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of stuff that happens.
There's
in Florida.
Apparently there's supposed, the map is supposed to be spot on with the state of Florida. So
when's it coming out?
I don't know, man. Probably a couple years, but
yeah, that's true. They don't release those. They don't release those like
one
Madden.
per system.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll go ahead and take a quick break. Appreciate you hanging in with us on the going through the Madden covers and the Madden curse, as that game will be released on August 16th, 25, following the release of EA Sports College Football on, I believe, July 19th. You're listening to the Inside Drive. We'll be right back with a College World Series update.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, Ellis Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. How? One of those. No, those they were running away all scared.
What was the score of it? I didn't get to see any of it.
I watched pretty much that whole game because was kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit once the Stanley Cup started. But NC State ended up winning that one 8-5 there at the home of the Georgia Bulldogs. To move on to the College World Series, where it is now set. NC State was actually down 2-0 after 2, and then hit a 2-run shot of their own in the top of the third to tie it up. Added 2 more in the top of the fifth. Teams exchanged 1 run in the 6th inning. Did it again in the 7th inning. NC State then put the game away in the top of the 8th with another 2-run shot. Georgia did hit a solo home run in the bottom of the 9th, but at that time it was 8-5, and NC State's pitcher closed out the game. NC State looked a lot more like they did in Game 1 and have eliminated Georgia from the college baseball playoff. So now our World Series is officially set. But that real quick update on our pick'em. Jay was the best last week. I know we don't say that very often. We each had 5 because of because of NC State beating Georgia. That knocked you and David out, or you and Jay out of winning that one. Jay had 6. We each had 5. So it's now 174 to 233 to 209.
All right, only 24.
Yep, he's closing the gap. He is closing the gap.
Wait, he's got 175?
I did this wrong. 175 plus 6, 181. And
181.
You've got 233.
233.
I thought I added them up earlier, but I didn't, so I had to do it real fast there. I was able to handle it, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's quick.
Well, I think Jay's going to be making a strong comeback here.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should pick all 38 NASCAR drivers or whatever.
And just order of finishes. You get 1 point, 10 points. Yeah. No, we could. I'd have to have Jay come up with the creative.
You get
ways
1
to
point
make
for
that
each
happen.
position that you get right. So if you get the winner, you get 1 point. If you get second place to the right place, you get 32. If you pick 38, you get 38 points.
Hey, that would be impressive, and I hope you bet on it as well because you'd win some money. That is for sure. But the Men's College World Series is now set. We've got 8 teams in there, and it might as well look like an SEC-ACC challenge.
It is.
As you have 4 teams from the SEC and 4 teams from the ACC.
Shout out ACC. They don't get the love that they deserve. Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely. Eliminated. Would have been 5-3, but with the Wolfpack's win last night, it made it a 4-4 action there. Little history on the Men's College World Series out there in Omaha, which is now the location. The first edition of the Men's College World Series was held in 1947 at Himes Field in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The tournament was held there again in 1948, but moved to Lawrence Stadium in Wichita, Kansas for the 1994 tournament. Since 1950, what's that, 74 years, the College World Series has been held in Omaha, Nebraska. It was held in the famous Rosenblatt Stadium for 60 years from 1950 through 2010. And then starting in 2011, it's been held at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska, formerly known as TD Ameritrade Park. The name College World Series is derived from that of the Major League Baseball World Series Championship. It is currently an MLB trademark licensed to the NCAA. In 2010 and June 10th of 2008, the NCAA and the College World Series Omaha announced a 25-year agreement and a contract extension, keeping the Men's College World Series in Omaha at least for another 11 years. And I think it seems like a great place, and I know a lot of people have had an opportunity to go up there, and I would love to go up there at one point. Somebody said too, there's a fantastic zoo in Omaha.
Yeah, Kalamazoo.
Oh, there you go.
No, I'm
Which is in Michigan, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I mean, just what an awesome baseball tournament to go to. Do you know who has won? I didn't know this at all. Who has won the most College World Series baseball titles?
Is it a popular school?
Yeah. No.
Pac-12, I'm assuming.
It's a Pac-12 school, no doubt.
I'll hedge the bet here. I'll say UCLA.
You hedged the wrong way. USC.
Yeah.
The Trojans have 12 NCAA national championships, with their last being, quite some time ago.
Like 70s?
Yeah, 26. Well, 78, and then they won it again in 1998.
Okay.
So it's been 26 years since their last one. They also have 2 runner-ups, and they've been in the finals 14 times. The next team that's won the second most, which is 5 back from the Trojans with 7 titles and 8 appearances, is from the SEC.
Oh, they're from the SEC.
From the SEC.
So I would have to say LSU.
Man, this is so different than we do this with Jay. Jay'd be like, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Maine.
Take me home to them country roads.
Hey, but yeah, LSU, 7 titles, with their most recent being last year.
Talk about, what was the coach's name there at LSU? Mariani, I believe.
Yeah.
He might be coming back, not to LSU, but to another squad. I think South Carolina, maybe.
That would be fantastic.
Bring LSU back. Fans, I think, would be ticked.
Yeah, it's kind of like you spend all that time. It'd be like Gary Gilmore going somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then
he is. He's going to Bama.
Is he?
No, I have no idea.
He better not. He better not. We just announced our new guy. We got a good one coming in, so I'm excited as well about the future. Sometimes, you've had a guy there for 29 years.
Yeah.
He's done a fantastic job.
Shake
but
it up a bit.
Yeah, and he's a younger guy with the craziness, the change. We've had 2 Coastal Carolina coaches. One's been on the show, Cliff Ellis, and then, of course, Gary Gilmore, very vocal about how college athletics have changed. And I think it's fair to say that even Nick Saban was very vocal on how things
absolutely
transitioned as well.
I think they're working on a new reality show that's going to be kind of a play on Gilmore Girls. It's going to be Gilmore Boys.
I like it.
Yeah, and they're just
the Boys of Summer.
The Boys of Summer.
Absolutely. They had a space helmet.
Check it out on
this
the
year.
CW, coming out in 2033.
And it's premiering right after the next Live Tour.
There you go.
All right, next, I'm only going to do a few more teams, but next team with 6 national championships. Most recent was 19 years ago. This is kind of a massive.
Cal State.
No, not Cal State Fullerton, but you're close. They do have 4. This team has 6.
Oregon State.
Nope. Oregon State, another good. They have 3.
Give me place of origin. No.
Place of origin.
Conference of origin.
They're transitioning from one conference to another.
So that's going to be, are we talking about a Pac-12 team transitioning
no Pac-12.
We're talking about Texas.
Yep. Texas has won 6 national championships dating back to 1949, with the most recent being in 2005. They've also been runner-up 6 times. They have the second most finals appearances with 12, just 2 shy of LSU. So they've been there 12 times and they've won 50% of the time, unlike LSU, who has been there 14 times and won whatever 12 into 14 is. Let's call it 85%. Next, you've got...
That's a good percentage.
That's pretty solid if you make it. Now, again, a lot of these were in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and one since 1978, and not one in the 21st century. But that's okay. I'll give you... we'll go with one more. They've got 5. They've got the 4th most College World Series on. I probably would have never got this. They've been in the finals 10 times. They were a Pac-12 school. They are no longer a Pac-12 school. Their most recent title was in 1981, so it's been a while.
Washington?
No, I would have never guessed this one.
Cal?
Nope.
Well, okay, so...
Warmer.
Warmer?
Hot. Some might say the devil lives there.
Oh, Arizona State?
Arizona State has 5 college.
Also, I was thinking about a team going to the Big Ten. They're going to the Big 12.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. But their last title was in 1981. And then you've also got Arizona with 4. They've been in the finals 8 times. Miami has won 4 College World Series. The last time they won one was in 2001. They've been 6 total times. Cal State Fullerton, they've won 4 times. They've been there 5. Minnesota has got 3. Oregon State has got 3. And then you've got several teams with 2. Stanford, Vandy, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Cal. And then the list of 1 is long, but not too long. OK State, Florida, Missouri, Wichita State, Florida State, Ohio State, Georgia, UCLA, Virginia, Mississippi State, Coastal Carolina, Fresno State, Holy Cross, Ole Miss, Pepperdine, and Rice. Florida State has been to 3 finals, but has never won. Yale has been to 2. Southern Illinois has been to 2. Alabama has been to 2, most recently in 1997. UNC has been to 2, most recently back-to-back in 2006 and 7. And as well, Arkansas has been there twice, and there's about 6 other schools that have been there 1 time.
Good stuff. Well, hopefully Florida State can get the job done this year. It'd be really cool to see them go out on top in one of these sports this year.
That would be really cool indeed. Your matchups are set. As we mentioned yesterday, they get split into 2 groups of 4, each playing, or they each play in a winners and double elimination bracket, with the team moving out of each group going on to play the College World Series finals. The first group gets started on Friday. It's going to be 1 p.m. on ESPN. That is North Carolina and Virginia, followed by Tennessee and Florida State, number 1 team in the country, facing off against the number 6 team in the country. That's going to be at 6 p.m. on ESPN. Thing for Tennessee, they've been to the finals once. They've never won, but a number 1 seed has not won the College World Series in 1999, 25 years.
I think for the last 3 years, we've had a lot of expectations surrounding Tennessee.
Yeah.
When it comes to the College World Series, and they just don't get it done. I think that continues this year. I mean, you saw the struggle with Evansville. No shade to Evansville. Look, they came out of the regional. I just, I think that team likes to have fun more, and that's not an issue.
No.
You know what I mean? I just think that they're a little bit more focused on fun than winning the whole shebang.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you gotta walk that line. And the fun seems to be more for that underdog team.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of keeps them lighthearted in a very stressful situation. But again, I think winning the first game when you make it to the College World Series is so important. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I'm sure it's when you win your first game, your chances obviously go up astronomically. So big matchup for Florida State with Tennessee, 6 p.m. on Friday night. And in the other brackets, you've got Kentucky at NC State, Kentucky's first ever appearance in the College World Series, and then Texas A&M and those Florida Gators, a.k.a. the Lizards. Those will be both on Saturday. You got a 1 o'clock game on ESPN, followed by a 6 o'clock game on ESPN, and then it continues all the way through until the 20th if you need that final double elimination game, with the final series getting started next Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday, June 22nd, with the finals potentially finishing on Monday if that third game is necessary. What does your mind tell you, and then what does your heart tell you?
My mind's telling me
body's telling
Texas
me.
A&M and the Aggies. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I just watched a few of their. I mean, I think Virginia's a sneaky team. I wouldn't even say sneaky. I think I think I wouldn't be surprised to see any one of these 8 teams win. But my mind is saying Texas A&M. But my heart is right here in Northwest Florida with the Seminoles of Florida State. I would love to see them get it done for the first time. I think it would mean a lot to this fan base. I think it would mean a lot to Florida State and to the career of Link Jarrett.
Absolutely.
So to be able to do something that the great late Mike Martin wasn't able to do, I think that this would be huge. So my mind is going with the Noles.
There you go. And we could, I mean, heck, they're in different brackets. We could have a Florida State finals.
That'd be
epic.
Dude, just take it out of I was going to say Rosenblatt, TD Ameritrade, and just do a best of 3. Let's go 1 game over there in Tallahassee, one game in Gainesville, and then we'll split the difference in between Gainesville and Tallahassee, somewhere around, I would assume, like Jacksonville area or something, and then play it there.
I like that.
Set it up at TIAA Bank Field or whatever.
There you go. They can make it work.
Right in the middle of all of the renovations and whatnot. Who cares?
No,
Love
we're
a baseball
good.
game.
We're good. There
Josh
you go.
Allen will show up to help with the building.
There you go. Put on his hat and everything. Our good friend Steve Wiley did say, shout out to the University of Maine baseball team. The Black Bears have gone to 7 College World Series. Obviously, never got a dub, but just getting there alone is a huge task.
Especially with a name like Maine.
Absolutely.
Just saying, like smaller school.
Yeah, smaller school and a northern school where it's cold more often than not. You don't get as much playing time outside. It's like golf. It's like teams up north. It's just tougher. Nowadays, you got a lot of technology with hitting bays and all that. But
when was the last time a team from the Northeast won?
The College World Series? That is a great question.
The answer is Holy Cross. You mentioned them earlier.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
The Holy Cross. Let's see. Yeah.
So I think, man.
LSU, Mississippi State, Vandy, Oregon State, Coastal.
Can't remember exactly when it was.
I know we got to take a break. It's in this. I got this. Let's see. Holy Cross, huh?
We're on your time, boss.
That's true. But isn't the top of the hour a heartbreak? Georgia, Pepperdine, LSU, Cal State, Fuller, and Rice. Now, Rice is in Texas, Fresno State.
1952.
52. I would have had to really keep going. Holy Cross. So, yeah, holy cow. Don't be a northern school. It doesn't give you as good of a chance. Although, Michigan got it done, but it's been a while since they got it done as well, too. So, but you are listening to The Inside Drive. We've got our Afternoon Delight debrief coming up when we get back. Don't forget about the 7-year send-off going out of our 1220 segment. We'll be right back.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunny with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour coming out of the west and temps near 89. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and be warm at 77. Mostly sunny most of the day except a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening tomorrow and a high 91. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the new Kia during the Summer Sticker Sales event going on now at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Now enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed and 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Skyrockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach, and our beautiful surrounding areas, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the Forgotten Coast. You can also check out our socials. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. That'll give you Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can watch, listen, comment, share, like, all that good stuff. And you can also go to the Google Play or Apple Store and search 104.3 ESPN ESPN Northwest Florida. And you can download the free mobile app that we offer here from ESPN Northwest Florida. And then, of course, you can always go to ESPNPC.com, and you need to do that even more now because it is time to get out there and vote. We've got awesome local shows here. We even got the Sam Peebles, the Braves Dugout podcast. He is nominated as well. So get out there and vote. You can check us out in the, all you got to do, we got it live. It's on our website. We'll post it on our Facebook page. But if you're watching the show live on Facebook right now, you'll see the link right there in the comments. It's the first thing I posted today. If you go on there, you'll see some different categories for the Best of Bay competition when it comes to entertainment and leisure people. And a shout out to Coach Hale. He's in the nominations for the DJ event/wedding category, so give him a vote. And then Sam Peebles made it to the planner event/wedding for the Braves Dugout podcast. I guess you could make a correlation there saying, hey, if you want to have a wedding there at Truist Park, Sam Peebles may be the one to help you get it going. And then, of course, on the radio personality, we got David Hayes in the Afternoon Underdogs. We've got myself here on the Inside Drive with Charles J. Henley III. And then we've also got Coach James Hale Show from the morning show. And then Sam Peebles from the Braves Dugout podcast. You can check them all out. And then somehow we snuck into some of the TV personality categories. I guess you can watch, you can watch us too, even though we've all got faces for radio. So that kind of does make sense as TV. But we appreciate any vote. Of course, we appreciate the nomination that you gave us as well. But help ESPN Florida, Northwest Florida win some kind of Best of the Bay action, whatever it may be. Nobody likes the same person over and over again. It's silly. Sound like Mario there.
Yeah,
well, that was good. But again, that's
give me one of them. What is it? The leaves that get you the raccoon tail, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, that was good.
What was your favorite little thing to be in Mario? Did you like to be the fireball?
The fireball was cool with the plant.
Make you retro or
a little bit. Yeah, kind of that.
Mushroom makes you grow a little bit.
Mushroom makes you grow a little bit, but the star.
More so mentally, I guess, than physically, except for Mario is more physically than mentally because we weren't really inside the mind of Mario.
That's true.
Was he micro or macro dosing? I mean, so many questions about those mushrooms.
He was jumping down pipes and rescuing princesses, and he was a plumber. And that's turned. Did you ever see the Super Mario movie that came out in the last couple of years?
Oh, not a new one. No, I think there was one back in the 80s
with real people, right? Yeah. I think I remember what you're talking about.
Mario.
Yeah. But the animated one, we went and saw it. I think it was last year.
Was it good?
It was really good. It was a good movie, and they had a lot of funny things for adults too as well. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the star. It just the yep. Because and then they incorporated it in Mario Kart, which was even better. So that was some really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. But it's the Afternoon Delight debrief segment. Do you have that clip?
Yeah,
you want to start with that one?
Let's see how it's sounding over this way.
It's a little sports related, but still good.
Nothing to drink this morning at all.
This is Scotty Scheffler in the back of the squad car during the PGA Championship arrest.
Right now. Usually people are like, no, I'm not doing that.
Like, yes, give me the breathalyzer.
Breathalyzing currently.
At 6 o'clock in the morning.
Off at 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah. That's I wouldn't. So I assume you're pretty good if you're playing the PGA.
I'm all right, yeah.
Is Tiger as good as they say he is, or is that?
Pretty good.
All right, looks like you've gotten a few texts and.
Can you open that one? That's my manager. 16. Oh.
It's got your Face ID on there.
Yeah, you can go.
We could have all just.
Can you click on that, please?
Just to clarify, nothing to drink today, right?
So we could have all just learned Scotty Scheffler's 4-digit PIN code to his phone, but luckily the police officer there said, Face ID.
Yeah, good absolutely. And it was an alert telling him that tee times had been delayed. Yeah. But why I wanted you to play that, and you sent that to me this morning, and I appreciate it, because there's been a lot more of those other officers' cams being released, and he was in the back of the squad car. He got arrested before 6 a.m. up there in Kentucky. They had him do a breathalyzer, and obviously he even joked around and said that, typically I don't drink before my 8 a.m. tee time in a PGA championship, the major championship. But what I thought was funny is he's like, oh, well, if you're playing in the PGA, you must be pretty good at golf then. And Scotty Scheffler goes on to say that, I'm pretty decent. And he could have took the opportunity to really, play the Scotty Scheffler #1 in the world card and all that. And he didn't. He stayed calm. He stayed humble. But it's just so funny. It goes back to the impact that Tiger Woods makes. And maybe there's a lot of people that aren't golf fans, don't watch golf, but everybody knows who the name Tiger Woods is. And this officer obviously did, and asked Scotty Scheffler, of all people, is Tiger Woods really as good as everyone says he is? And Scotty's like, yeah, he's pretty good. And Scotty could have took an opportunity and said, hey, he was good, but now I'm the guy. But he didn't, and that's just that you just learn more about Scotty's character, but. Still
the humility.
The humility in that accent, of course. You got to say it that way. But, I just don't understand how these guys didn't know who Scotty Scheffler was. Like, you're at a PGA event, even if you got called in for the traffic accident, like Louisville, Kentucky, hosting the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler, #1 player in the world, dominating golf right now. I don't know how to make a correlation, but it's just that clip just stood out to me because he still didn't really know who Scotty Scheffler was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to make a correlation there.
What to compare it to not knowing.
Yeah, no analogy, anything like that. All I do know is it's one of those things where this whole thing has got blown up to this proportion. I'm not going to say out of proportion because if he was dragging a police officer
absolutely.
or whatever,
you got to go through the due process.
Obviously, I don't know. Have you seen the picture of the officer's knee and the pants?
Yeah.
And you were drugged?
Yeah.
I've been drugged by vehicles before, brother.
Yeah.
My leg, dude. Like the amount of road rash that comes from just being on the ground for a minute, which I've had, 50% of my body covered in road rash one time from being drugged by a vehicle, So I've been ran over more times than I would like to admit. So that's where the whole thing is so you get it blown out of proportion. From the whole thing is if the right people, the people who were supposed to be working this event, were working the gates at this time, then none of this happens. However, it's a different circumstance because you've got a death on the premises at that point.
Yep.
So it's something where Scotty Scheffler I don't know, man. It's absolutely wild. And then the more stuff that comes out, the more that's how did this even how did he end up going to jail? How did he end up going to jail? And it's honestly because of the I don't want to say anything that's negative towards law enforcement, but towards that particular...
To that individual.
Yeah,
Take
exactly.
law enforcement out of it.
Exactly. It just seems like he wasn't up to par with what was going on.
And we live in a world
Be
where...
punny with it, right?
That was good. Where it's okay to admit you made a mistake. You don't have to stand on that,
die on that hill.
You don't have to. It's okay.
That's the thing, man. To be honest with you, man, me and Rick had a real strong discussion about this the other day because it's he's getting preferential treatment. It's all right, yeah, to some extent he is, but also we're talking about a guy who's playing in the tournament. Anyone else who's not playing, and I'll go further to say, forget just the golfers of this.
Yeah.
The people who are grounds crew or whatever, who are probably already...
They've been there, yeah.
Exactly.
They slept there, yeah.
But people who are working the tournament or whatever, all of those people deserve preferential treatment. Why? Not because of their name, their status, or their affluence, any of that stuff. It's because they are there to do a job.
For an event that makes the city of Louisville a lot of money.
Exactly. So if Scotty was in the wrong, it was just not no. And what was the miscommunication of all of the hand signals and all of that? Because we know that that's an easy thing to
100%.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. It's wild, but I think that just like how Caitlin Clark is handling all of this, not making the USA roster and all of this other stuff. And again, I'm not on the Caitlin Clark train like everyone else is, but you got to give credit where credit is due. And the way that she handles things is very professional, and it's very if I had a young daughter, I would be let's watch the way that this girl does things.
Yeah, absolutely. And the exact same thing about Scotty. And that's probably a reason why he's just absolutely dominating the world of golf right now, because of that mindset, which you got a glimpse into in a very, very stressful situation of how he was still so calm. And, I would have been absolutely panicking.
As the late great Stuart Scott said, he's cool as the other side of the pillow, baby.
Nice, good stuff, man. I miss him.
Yeah,
He
that was
so
my
good.
favorite, especially because he had 2 different color eyes. And my dad has 2 different color eyes,
really?
so it's like,
Nice,
my dad's essentially blind. But
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But yeah, so I wanted you. I thank you for sending
Shout out,
that
Dad.
clip.
Love you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. If you're listening, you might not be able to see, but that's okay. Oh, but yeah, it's just crazy. I still think that whole situation, who knows what would have happened had he not been arrested? Does it change his impact on the thing? But, his highest finish was T8 in his last 8 tournaments, and that just happened to be. But he also didn't have his caddy, too, on that Saturday.
I mean, if he doesn't get arrested, then more than likely we're talking about him. He didn't. Did he win the Masters again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about that Grand Slam, not a Scotty Slam, a Grand Slam.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, he's only won the Masters twice. Those are the only 2 majors he's won.
Right, but what I'm saying is, had he won that other one, now we're coming into
and you're
a
talking
golf
about a
course
Grand
that's
Slam of in the year.
In the year, that's what I'm saying is like.
Which
he more than well, I can't say more than likely. That's way unfair. He's got a higher chance of winning that golf tournament. Then we're coming up on the U.S. Open here. This seems like it's fit for Scheffler to win. And then does he win the final major of the year? I mean, there's a possibility there, but it got derailed, and there's always next year.
Yep, and he still played a great round that Friday, but like we've talked about before on the show, I think once he finished his round on Friday and really had a chance to decompress and realize what actually happened, I think that's when more of that affected his round of golf on Saturday there. That's for sure. But appreciate you playing that. A couple quick ones here. Nothing crazy in the crazy world out there for the Afternoon Delight debriefs, but I got one from Odd News. This is from today. Earlier on, flight delayed after sugar glider escapes aboard plane. First off, sugar gliders are cool as heck, but a plane in China was delayed.
Hold on. We just got a text in. I'm sorry to stop you on this,
please.
But privilege. This is what someone texted in. What if it was Tiger? If this situation was Tiger, I think that the slander would be higher at first. But if Tiger did the same thing, if Scotty wasn't in the wrong and Tiger did the same exact thing, then I personally would be sitting here saying the same exact thing, though. Like and we can get into that privilege. And I think that there is a privilege there. I think that there is.
Tiger got lots of privilege.
Tiger got a lot of privilege, but I think that there is a privilege there. However, I do think that it is more of a class situation. I do think that there is a skin color privilege out there. Like, I'm not gonna deny that. However, my thing is that, and then here's the other side of it. The reason why off rip it's going to be more negative for Tiger off rip is because of the things that have happened.
His history.
What helped Scotty Scheffler here, especially in the court of public opinion, was the fact that Scotty, from everyone that knows him and all of the other things that have been said and what we see is he's a stand-up guy, you know? So it's like he was the last person that you would have expected to see was Scotty Scheffler. So if it was Tiger and same situation plays out, I think off rip, you have people going haywire and bananas about it and possibly lots of things being thrown around negatively towards Tiger. However, if it's the same exact situation, in fact, I think they open up that door and they see Tiger Woods, they're not questioning who this person is.
That was going to be my point. They see
already
Tiger,
in the game.
they just let him go, regardless of what that,
I mean, it's Tiger daggone Woods, bro. There's not a name in golf that resonates around the world. Like,
No,
talk
not
about
in
a
this
name
day and
heard around
age.
the world. That's Tiger Woods.
And Tiger, I mean, you want to talk about the privilege part. I mean, he got, what happened with all the stuff that came out, what happened with his wife, and then that huge bad car wreck he had because of what he was doing, everybody kind of forgave him for that.
Right,
real
like there
quick.
was no, and thankfully there was no alcohol in the detox report or any of that, right? So that really helped him out there, because what's the first intuition that people have, or the first thought that you have when someone gets in a wreck on a road like that? It's like maybe they was drinking or whatnot. But I think that there is some truth to that. Now, however, like, let's take this back to if this was a guy like, I don't want to say Cam Smith, that's a little too large of a name, but let's go with a Tony Finau or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about someone who has a pigmentation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who really doesn't have a name in golf. Now we could be talking about a totally different side of things.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely.
There's that, man. And also, I I like how this process played out, which does not normally play out in the process of innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But it was really assumed that Scotty Scheffler was kind of guilty until he was able to prove his innocence. But again, court of public opinion plays such a large role in these things. And I don't like that, honestly, because how often are we seeing people get away with murder blatantly?
Oh, yeah. And how many people go convicted for not doing something that they didn't actually do?
There you go. And how many people get away with, you know, like that's the thing.
Yeah,
man.
you could just keep going.
Oh, it's the justice system. As much as people like, there's pros and cons, right? Pros and cons, and nothing in this world is perfect. So that's why we just got to try to be content with everything that it is. And I love you all out there.
And you can only control what you can control.
Yeah, there you go, man. Like your mindset in the morning.
That's it. That's it. Absolutely. It kind of seems trivial to talk about a sugar glider, but guess what? I'm going to.
Here we go.
Because I can control that.
The rails there.
No. It's good stuff.
Appreciate the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Good discussion stuff for sure. And, you know, it's all sparked from that video. So cool there. But again, a plane in China was delayed after a passenger smuggled pet, a sugar glider, a type of Australian possum, escaped in the passenger cabin. Shanghai Police International Branch said passengers on the Eastern Airlines flight to Jinhan had been temporarily disembarked when the animal, which resembles a flying squirrel, escaped from its owner in the passenger cabin and went into hiding. Police wrote on social media the animal's owner violated the regulations and took a pet sugar glider on board the plane. The sugar glider was eventually captured, removed from the plane, police said. Passengers were allowed back on the plane, which arrived in Jihan 62 minutes behind schedule. The sugar glider's owner was detained by police for disrupting order on public transportation. This was in China. I'm surprised he didn't get locked up for life. But that's a whole other topic.
Locked up for life.
But yeah, sugar gliders are cool. They're like flying squirrels.
I mean, right. I think they used to have them at malls and call them sugar babies or whatever.
Yeah, you know, those might have been bad for your teeth, but, you know, maybe you should add that to your collection with the kangaroo. One flies, one punches
you know,
you.
It would be that would be really cool. What if you're walking around with the kangaroo? The kangaroo's got a sugar glider on his shoulder. The sugar glider's got a little parakeet on his shoulder.
I like it. I like where we're going.
I got a whole daggum ecosystem
There you
walking
go.
around with
and covering them all, that's for sure. But yeah, there's some other ones I could dive into, but we've only got a couple minutes left, so I'm gonna leave that alone for when we get it back to it on Thursday, because tomorrow we'll have a huge segment with Keith Fleming. I know Alan's going to join us as well to do all of our picks for the U.S. Open, which we may talk a little bit about today.
Yeah, see how y'all like basically just lambasted me out of the.
Well, these originally were on Keith's podcast with Fantasy Six Pack, and you know I won all three last year, and I didn't win the one earlier, so we always picked on there.
Yeah.
But now we've kind of pivoted, I guess, to the. We'll add you in there.
No, it's okay.
The U.S. Open's got 156 people in
156.
I think so. It's either 144 or 56.
That's like twice the normal field, right?
No, that's more so what the normal field. You're thinking of the signature events,
exactly.
which is
They've
what we're
got
talking
me all
about.
lived out these days.
Well, that's not even live. That's the PGA Tour signature.
I know,
events.
but didn't they change these events, right?
Because of live,
exactly.
Yeah, they won't tell you that.
Out.
But yeah, that's true. That's true. I like that.
How about old John Rahm having to withdraw?
Did he withdraw?
Yeah, at this tournament, I believe it was after the first round.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Oh, the Live tournament.
Yeah, the Live tournament. Yeah.
He might have withdrew for that to get ready for the Open, because it's going to be absolutely brutal. There is no doubt about it. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the U.S. Open. But when we get back, we're going to dive into the Stanley Cup Finals. Can the Oilers come back?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You hear it from David Hayes right here on the Inside Drive. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control, Store More Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Billbird Kia, and Mid-South Lumber.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunny with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour coming out of the west and temps near 89. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and be warm at 77. Mostly sunny most of the day except the possibility of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening tomorrow and a high 91. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Behind some strong defense, clutch pitching, and a solid offense, this 2024 Brave squad's gearing up to make some noise in the National League.
He sends one soaring to right field, back to the chop house, 3-0 Braves. He's done it again.
Tonight, the Braves road trip rolls on from Baltimore as Austin Riley and the Braves take on the Orioles at Camden Yards.
Coverage starts here after the afternoon underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 99% rate, the U.S. economy is
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Not Jay. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Talking a little bit about the U.S. Open briefly there. You had your great clip there. That was some good stuff. But if you're not even a golf, I always encourage people to watch golf because that's kind of what we do. But the Masters is awesome.
Nappage.
Yeah, great nappage. But there's going to be some serious carnage coming up this week at Pinehurst #2. The last time it was played was in 2014 when Martin Kaymer led wire to wire. That was 3 years after the $2.5 million renovation to bring it back to the original 1907 Donald Ross design. Core and Crenshaw Group came in, added all the original waste areas, but the teeth of that golf course, not only is it just incredibly long, and I know we'll dive more into the course specifically tomorrow, but it's a par 70 playing 7,548 yards long. That would be long for a par 72, let alone a par 71, let alone a par 70. Only 2 par 5s on this golf course, but just a very challenging course. All the greens, as you can, if you've watched it before, if you know, they're basically like elephants were buried in all of them, and they may look big to the eye, but the landing areas on these greens are absolutely tiny, and it's just going to be one of those things. Who can survive? But Wyndham Clark, the reigning U.S. Open champion, had his press conference yesterday, and he had mentioned that the U.S. Open's always a test of greens. They burn them out, they make them as fast as possible, but it's been hot in the South, and I think the USGA's got to be a little careful with this golf course because it could get out of control very quickly. All the greens are surrounded by very tightly mown areas. Not a lot of rough on Pinehurst #2, but there is a lot of waste areas. And Clark's comments, when asked about the greens at Pinehurst, the reigning champion Wyndham Clark says the greens are on the edge of danger. Yeah, I mean, they are extremely fast, but if they get any firmer and faster, the greens, they'd be borderline. They're already borderline. Is he being a little exorbitant with his comments? I don't know, but I remember what happened at Shinnecock Hills many, many years ago when Retief Goosen won that. They were syringing greens in between groups of golfers.
Syringing greens.
You're about to learn a golf term, an agronomic term. So syringing means when you hook up a hose to one of the irrigation heads right near the green, and you actually hand water the green with a very heavy, concentrated amount of water, because you get that in burning spots. It's when you have bent grass greens, especially in the South and Pinehurst are not bent, but they could die in a matter of minutes because of the heat. So you got to go out there and syringe the hot spots. It's a very tough, painstaking way.
A little bit of a epic letdown there. I really thought they were going to get out there with a syringe and just one syringe
water
at a time.
That would take some time. That's like cutting grass with scissors, that's for sure, which they do at some China golf courses. It's pretty wild.
We offered to cut the lady's grass like back in the day at St. Pete. I think I've told that before. She was out there cutting. We'd see ride by her house 2 days, 3 days in a row. She's out there cutting. Has got maybe like a square foot of her yard cut. It's like, hey, we'll cut it for free. You know, we're riding around the bikes, got the lawnmower towed behind us and everything. And yeah, she would not accept it. So
man, but yeah, I mean that's actually because there's so many people to work, and they get these people on a golf course, and they got 10 dozens, 100 people, and they'll hand cut some of the golf courses in China. That's how high end it is out there. But anyway,
but it's like a totally different experience.
Oh yeah, it's very like for the elite of the elite, and you go in, you play, you come in, you eat lunch at the turn, you go back out, and it's a whole day's worth of thing, and it's just a completely different golf experience over there.
Love that.
Yeah, he would. He's probably done it. Right after he gave his Super Bowl ring to Putin. They headed over to China and played some golf.
And finished it off with a nightcap in North Korea.
There you go. Checking all the communist boxes there. But Pinehurst number 2, upside down, or elephants buried in all these greens. I've had the pleasure of not only playing the golf course.
Elephants buried in all of the greens?
You just not literally, but you think about what an elephant, if you were to put an elephant in the green and then just put grass on it that was extremely fast and firm, that's what you're putting on this week.
Gotcha.
Tiny landing areas. If you miss it at all, your ball's going to roll off the green. You could not get it close. It's one of the more unique venues, and especially since the Core and Crenshaw renovation back in 2011, but I'm hoping it's going to be as grueling of a test that it should be. I mean, the yardage on this golf course, so they have a 1 in 10 tee start because you've got so many players in the field. First hole kind of eases you into it. It's only 395, but a very challenging green. Next hole, 504 yards, par 4. Then you've got the very challenging green on the third hole, but it's only 387. Then you play the par 4 fourth, which when I played there, it was a par 5 just for the regular players, 528-yard par 4. For example, most what people would call white tees or the regular tees at a golf course, a par 5, a lot of times they're in the 400s. These guys are playing a 525-yard par 4. The next hole, the fifth hole, which is insanely sloped from right to left with a green that the backside falls off a good 20, 30 feet, 588 yards. Just when you think it can get any easier, you got to play the very challenging sixth hole, 228 yards, elevated green, falls off, bunkers on the left and right, and then you turn to the dog leg right. If I remember correctly, the seventh hole, 426, number 8, 488. Number 9, it's only 184. Very uphill, huge deep bunker in front. And if you're starting on hole number 10, it's a 617-yard par 5. Back 9 is just absolutely brutal here at Pinehurst number 2. Followed by par 4s, both over 280 yards. Then you get an okay one, 381, followed by another 472-yard par 4. Then 15, very challenging par 3, right about 200 yards. Then 16, this is a hole that's going to make or break, I think, come Sunday, unless Scheffler runs away with this thing, is a 530-yard par 4. 530 yards. That means if you hit a 310-yard tee shot, Jay, you've got 220 yards into the green. So even if you pipe one out there at 310, you're still hitting it, and a lot of these guys
just a little 8-iron.
Yeah, just a little, right? Yeah, no, but they'll be hitting it 340, 350, I'm sure.
I laugh when people are like talking about things that are over 200 yards. Like, yeah, that's just an iron. Like, okay, well, I'm going driver off the deck here, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't even tee it up for you. I'll just drop it and hit it. 17, famous Payne Stewart. If you remember back in 1999, made a fantastic birdie on this hole en route to making a birdie on 18 to win over Phil Mickelson. But 207-yard, beautiful par 3. And then number 18 coming up the hill, 448 yards. We spent a lot of time on that hole back in 2005 waiting for Tiger to win it, but it ended up being Michael Campbell. So just some stuff there with Pinehurst number 2 and how crazy and difficult this golf course is really, really going to to be. And I am, it's one of my favorite venues as far as the U.S. Open. They play a lot of the same venues. Again, we'll talk a lot more about the U.S. Open tomorrow, but Pinehurst number 2 is just a really, really, really cool venue. And I love seeing them struggle. And I just don't see how they don't struggle a little bit on this golf course. Maybe not Scotty Scheffler. The Memorial was a very difficult golf course as well, and he still ended up, I think, 8 under par, but there was only a half a dozen guys or so under par, and this golf course is probably 10 times harder than the Memorial.
I got a little clip of Rory McIlroy talking about Scotty Scheffler, so a little 14 seconds.
I did see that. Yeah, let's let it rip.
What is the most impressive to you about what he's been able to accomplish so far this year?
The fact that the only thing that took him from winning a golf tournament was going into a jail cell for an hour.
An hour. I was gonna read it in his voice, and I was like, yeah, let's save myself from embarrassment today.
No, you just wanted to play that one because you wanted to hear Rory's Irish accent.
Yeah,
there.
no doubt, man. Him and Conor McGregor. I feel like anyone who comes out of Ireland who you've got the accent and you talk crap well, I think that it's conducive to any sport.
It kind of goes hand in hand. It's like the Boondock Saints. I think they're making a Boondock Saints too, if I'm not mistaken. But that's neither here nor there. We'll dive into it.
Wait, are you talking Boondock Saints? That's a video
The
game,
movie.
right? Okay, I don't know if I've ever seen that. I've seen Boondocks, the show.
Gotcha. Boondock Saints is that movie where they were basically like criminals, but they were...
I think they had a game on that.
They might have.
I think
they did. They had a video game based on the movie. I remember it now. But I think they're coming out with a second one. But anyway, speaking of fighting and all that good stuff, Game 2 has finished up, and the Florida Panthers now lead 2-0 going back to Edmonton, which will take a couple days to go. There's only been 5 teams in the 54 occurrences where the Stanley Cup final has went 2-0 after the first 2 games. Only 5 teams have come back to overcome that 2-0 deficit. I think what we talked about, 4 teams in NHL history have done the 3-0 one.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that gets to that. The 2011 Boston Bruins came back and won that one. The 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins. The 1971 Montreal Canadiens. The 1966 Montreal Canadiens. And then the first one to ever come back from a 2-0 series was the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs, which we all remember that one. That is for sure. But, it was kind of a little different. It was kind of a flipped script, so to speak, last night. Watched pretty much the whole game, and Edmonton was not getting any shots at all, and at one point they only had one shot, but it was a goal, and it happened in a 4-on-4 scenario when there was a 5-minute major penalty, and that's when I knew you were at softball, but I still texted in the group. I said, that hit, yes, he stuck out his leg, he basically ran out of an opportunity to hit the guy, so he stuck out his leg, but it really wasn't that vicious. And those hits, 20, 30 years ago, that was just part of the game. Mm-hmm. He got a 5-minute major and got the gate, a 10-minute game misconduct for that hit.
And who was it that got that again?
I don't even remember.
Florida Panthers or...
No, the Edmonton guy got ejected.
So it was disadvantageous for Edmonton there.
So they got a 5-minute power play.
What they end up losing the game by? 3-1, 4-1?
4-1 with an empty netter.
All right.
And what happened during that 5-minute power play is Florida then committed a penalty, which made it 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and Edmonton scored.
Oh, okay. So they
actually
ended up
helped.
getting the better end of the deal. I think that this is all said and done here. I don't know if we're going to get a sweep, but it does feel like now you've got 2 teams who won both in the NBA and the NHL finals. You've got 2 teams here who have taken care of business at the house. Do things change when the other team is at the homestead? It's hard for me to say. Florida played their game for real last night. They won the first game 3-0, and that really wasn't the Florida Panthers that we've seen this whole time.
Bob's bailed them out in that one.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now then the defense shows up last night. When I showed up, it was third period, and Edmonton had like 14 shots. I'm like, oh, okay. That is more or less the type of hockey we were expecting to see. Luka's kind of injured over there in the NBA finals. So I really think that we're about to get 2 really boring finals out of this. But if anyone I don't know. Both are the same.
Yeah.
The better teams are Florida and Boston. When it comes to depth, all of that.
An overall team, yeah.
The better stars are on Edmonton and Dallas. Like, not taking anything away from Jaylen Brown or from Jason Tatum or from Kristaps Porzingis.
Or Derek White.
But Luka White Luka Doncic has been one of the best players in the game. I'm not going to go as far as to say he's the best in the game. No, I think you've got a number of players that are eligible for that title. But Luka, Kyrie's really got to step it up in Game 3. He really has to come through, use those Pocahontas shoes, and have some magic happen here. Luka needs a big game. He's also somewhat injured, but I really want to see Boston get it done here. And I think that if they win Game 3, it's over, man.
Yeah.
Both series are over. Is how many games are the Oilers and the Mavericks going to be able to win?
Well, and I certainly agree with you. And Mavs may be able to steal one, maybe two, who knows? But this hockey, you have one goal in 2 games
with the best offense out there,
and the goal that you scored was basically a terrible goal given up by Bobs on like a kind of 2-on-1 partial break where he shot it right in the middle of him and it squeaked through and got in the back of the net. And then he tightens. They just haven't got any chances. And when you've got Connor McDavid, who's leading the playoffs with 32 points, he has 1 assist in this series so far.
On their 1 goal.
As does defenseman Evan Bouchard, who has 28 points, 22 assists, and he's only got 1. And then Draisaitl has no points. So it's not just those guys. They've also got many other good players on the team, and they're just, Florida Panthers, man, they are tough and they are strong, and I just don't see, even in Edmonton, if Florida plays like they did and get decent goaltending from Bobs the rest of the way, it's just nuts. He's stopped 50 of 51 shots so far, and it could easily have been 51 of 51.
Right.
I would
2 shutouts back to back. And Bobs looked like great goalie for sure. But to expect this against the Edmonton Oilers is absolutely unheard of.
Well, and even going back to Edmonton's Game 6 win over Dallas, I think they only had 14 shots in that game. So they weren't even really generating a ton of offense going in, small snippet there, but going into the Stanley Cup Finals. So I think they got to figure some stuff out. Maybe the home crowd of Edmonton can get them fired up, and they haven't won a cup in a long time, and Florida's never won a cup, and maybe it's time.
Let's go.
So, hey.
As a Lightning fan, I'm not rooting for the Panthers. Yeah. It's also like mind heart pick. It is mind heart pick.
Yeah.
I would love to. It would be cool to see Edmonton get it done. Because I hate the Florida Panthers. However, when you watch them play and how they've out-physicaled Tampa Bay, Boston, and the Rangers now, and you've seen it through 2 games in a series with the most potent offense in the NHL in Edmonton. This is wild.
Yeah, absolutely. And Barkov may not be the good thing is they got 3 days because it's so much travel, and Barkov left the game in the 3rd period after Draisaitl kind of came up with a high hit. Again, they reviewed it. They just did a 2-minute minor roughing penalty. But man, the game last night, I thought the refs were a lot tighter with what they were calling.
Compared to Game 1.
Compared to Game 1, and even compared to the other playoff series, because, a hit like that would have happened in the Stanley Cup Finals in like the mid-90s would have been like a little tap.
Yeah.
Because they just used to be so much more aggressive. I don't know. But anyway, it's pretty exciting. The House Money Cats that we followed last year all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. No longer the House Money Cats this year, as they are dominating all the way through the playoffs. Will that continue? Time will tell. But the next game's not for 2 more nights, as they're going to get that 2,358 miles, something like that.
I don't got nothing tonight.
Nothing.
Braves.
No hockey. You got Braves? No,
Dynasty.
Got no college. Yeah, we got practice. That'll be exciting. We've got no
tacos.
Not college. It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Taco
Ironically,
Tuesday.
on the way to practice last week, we stopped at the Bong. Which, that was a terrible bell
it
sound.
Doesn't matter.
That was
we
more
knew what
bong.
we were talking about.
Not as quick
red
as
in the advertising, but a little bit of purple.
There you go. Open midnight or later. All right, it's that time. If you want to get,
have you had the Cheez-It? Then let's just get into it.
I saw that.
I had it, man.
Did it live up to the hype?
No,
I didn't think it would. That's why I didn't get it.
Just a little bit soggy, and you can't really taste it, honestly. But what I will say is, it does feel like the crunch wrap is a little bit bigger because it's, like, oh, look at this special item here.
So are they getting these from Cheez-It and they're bringing them in?
I guess.
Or are they
so.
making their own Cheez-It? Because I
would imagine that they're getting it from Cheez-It.
I would
because
hope
they got
so.
the name Cheez-It.
Yeah, that's true with the little arch.
And I knew what the deal was going to be. Like, there's no way that a Cheez-It, as someone who dips Cheez-Its into things, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to maintain that consistency.
It can't.
When it's sitting there and ground beef.
It can't. There's just no way.
Well, it didn't. Not just it can't.
It didn't. It does not. It won't. It will never do it. Cheez-Its are one of those I've just, I can never get away from Cheez-Its. They're so good.
I got the white cheddars right now, and normally I'm a hot and spicy, but...
And they got variety now.
Yeah, they do.
Variety. All right, it's the 11th, so that means we're going to be giving away a Dave & Buster's swag bag, jersey, and a $10 Swampy Jack gift card. It's that time to hear the cue to call. It is the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. We've been doing this thing for 7 years, coming up on June 17th, and we want to send you up to see the Atlanta Braves play the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, September 7th. This is going to include your hotel, spending cash, food, and beverage at the game, as well as amazing seats to the Xfinity Club. We appreciate PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, and Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, as well as Home 2 Suites for sponsoring this great contest. Listeners can qualify as many times as they want, and the one that qualifies today is going to go home with a Dave & Buster's swag bag, a jersey, and a $10 Swampy Jack gift card. When we get back, we'll be joined by the 10th caller.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show. You're listening to the Inside Drive live.
The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves winning!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the new Kia during the Summer Sticker Sales Event going on now at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Now enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed and 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We've got a winner. We've got Matt on the line, and I believe, Matt, this is the trifecta of getting in here on caller number 10. How are you doing today, Matt?
Doing good.
Awesome. Trifecta, third time qualifying.
No, I think it's my fourth. I got it twice on Coach Hale and then twice with you guys.
Man, you need to go buy a lottery ticket.
Facts. It is his
Facts.
fourth time.
There you go.
It's his
Four
fourth
times.
time.
And that's the beauty of this contest. You can qualify as many times as you want. I'm sure they've already asked you on the other shows, Matt, but obviously a big Atlanta Braves fan.
Absolutely.
Have you been to Truist Park before?
Yeah, the Battery is an awesome place.
It is. That is for sure. But I'm guessing you've never sat in the Xfinity Club before.
We used to get some tickets through our company that was down right behind home plate.
Nice.
It had, I think, all the food and the servers and all that stuff. So I'm not sure if it's the same spot, but yeah.
I think that's like Delta or something like that. I don't know.
They got all those.
Yeah, we used to get it from West Rock.
They bring the food over there to you when you're sitting in them type of seats, huh?
Yeah. You can tell your server to bring you stuff, and good little setup.
Definitely, especially at a maybe a little cooler in September, hopefully, but always a good time up there at Truist Park. That's for sure.
Hey, so with Ronnie and Strider being down, who's your favorite player? Like, who's the guy that you're rooting for this year on the Atlanta Braves?
Oh man, I'd like to see Austin start taking off. Yeah. I mean, they all just seem like they're slumping. You got Olsen not getting his doubles or homers. So we're leaving a lot of guys on base and not really hitting at all, actually.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You know, hitting is contagious, but so is not hitting. And that's what the Braves seem to be catching a lot of, is not hitting lately.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully, like we've been saying kind of the last couple weeks, hopefully maybe this is a different scenario of last year where they're getting really hot and going into the playoffs. And, well, hopefully they make the playoffs, but getting hot and then getting in there and not worried about chasing records and all that stuff. And a fun second half of the season will ensue for those Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we just got to get rolling.
That's why it's a long season.
So
That's it. Well, Matt, congratulations on your 4th entrant, and maybe you'll get a few more, as we still have one more today and Wednesday. So we got 9 more opportunities this week. And,
looking for the hat trick today, Matt.
I hope you have a pickup truck, because you're going to need some space to get all these qualifying prizes home when you come pick them up.
Hey, keep them coming.
There you go. Hey, give us a call. We appreciate you, Matt, listening, and you have a great rest of your week. All right. There you go.
4 times. I told you, like, during the break, I was like, this is his
hat-trick.
3rd time winning.
He's like, no, man, 4. Quattro.
Yeah, so 2 on this show, 2 on the Coach James Hale show. And we'll see you today at 5:40, because we had an opportunity for, I believe, David to have no, it was Paul. Paul was looking for the hat trick last week. Hat trick meaning that you win all 3 on the same day.
Now, are you going to be running it a little earlier? Because we have Atlanta Braves action tonight.
Very glad that you brought that up, because obviously we'll be talking about that on the afternoon show. But today, we're going out at 5:35. So let's say 5:30 for the Braves today. We're going to do ours at 5:30. So we'll give you the cue to call today at 5:30 on the Afternoon Underdogs. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your foes.
5:30. Is Matt going to make it the hat trick for today? We shall find out.
We will.
You can do your best by not letting him, by giving us a call at 855.